welcomed in with the beautiful music and message of Holly's music. Welcome to the love and light that is Unity of Lawrence. And in unity, we begin everything with prayer. So let's take a centering breath and open to the divine in all of us as we listen to this prayer. On this day, we dedicate our hearts to peace on earth. We appreciate each individual's spiritual journey and the abundant blessings bestowed upon us. In unity with all who seek to express freedom, joy, and transformation, we welcome our divine inheritance as creators. We come from love, as love, to be love. In harmony with this truth, we live to the best of our ability with a peaceful mind, a peaceful heart, and a peaceful spirit. And so it is. Amen. Our prayer chaplains are with us one-on-one. So if there's anything in your heart to hold in prayer today, we invite you to see Diane today here at the front of the service sanctuary and have that sacred one-on-one space. Well, we also love to sing in unity, so let's rise and join Holly in singing Pour Yourself in Me. wonderful spirit. Yes, yes, indeed. And so as we pour ourselves into that spirit, let's also affirm unity's founding principle together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And our vision statement, united in divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. And our mission statement, we are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. And so it is. Well, I'm looking forward to being transformed with our special music guests today, Sugarfoot Detour.
You guys are so kind. It's so good to be here. I'd like to thank Ross for being here. Well, this is a song I wrote a long time ago, but who cares? It's been a long, lonesome time since the morning. I've walked for miles. My feet are burning and bruised, but the path ahead of me seems never ending. A yellow glow that keeps me tattered and used, and the breeze keeps us sifting when the moon starts to glow by the dust out on the road where the weary traveler goes. Lightning struck the ground, I heard a thunder. The stones came down in a dusty wall, but the sun broke through the crowds and tore asunder the bonds of pain between us all. And the breeze keeps us sifting when the moon starts to glow by the dust out on the road where the weary traveler goes. Softened veils we drape across our stark reality. We've been lost inside self-inflicted pain. After centuries astride the sparkling stream of misery, I am walked into the fate of the prophecy, the truth he told, we're all divine. He carried poor along with all the aristocracy, so we could know he left a sign. And the breeze keeps us sifting when the moon starts to glow by the dust out on the road where the weary traveler goes. Across our stark reality, we've been lost inside a self-inflicted pain. After centuries astride the sparkling stream of misery, I am weak.
So glad to have you here. Thank you. Thank you. And old songs always bring new messages in wonderful waves. So perfect. Thank you. Well, Karen Langsford is our guest speaker today, and she came to Unity over 20 years ago, is a graduate of Unity's Spiritual Education and Enrichment Program. She served as a prayer chaplain at Unity Temple on the Plaza for 7 years before relocating to Lawrence. She currently works in the health support services at Cottonwood Inc. and occasionally gets on stage at Theater Lawrence. She truly appreciates this growing spiritual community and is excited and challenged to be speaking about Unity's 12 Powers of Man. Welcome, Karen.
Yes. Yeah, I understand. I understand. I understand. I get it. What? It's for you. Oh, have you ever had one of those kind of conversations? You know, it's interesting. The etymology of the word understand has nothing to do with standing under anything. It actually means to stand near. Although I can stand near a 3-year-old and still not understand what they're saying. So when we stand near something in comprehension, it speaks to the fact that each of us has a very unique understanding and experience and knowing of the world, and that I cannot know you and your experience exactly, but I can stand near it. So I think we should sort of strike the languaging of, oh, I know what you're feeling. Oh, I know how that is. I understand is a better, more true way to say that. And Charles Kettering is an American inventor, and he said, knowing is not understanding. There is a great difference between knowing and understanding. You can know a lot about something and still not understand it. And Charles Fillmore, our co-founder and author of The 12 Powers of Man, he says in the Revealing Word, which is his dictionary, there are 2 ways of getting understanding. One is by following the guidance that dwells within, and the other way is to go blindly ahead and learn by hard experience. I've done both. Understanding is the ability to mentally grasp the meaning, to comprehend, and this I like, enlightened intelligence. And I like this last definition because it suggests that understanding is a process that involves both the brain and the heart working in conjunction. Charles Fillmore writes, and this is a long one, so stay with me, the Bible gives us many examples of the awakening of this brain in the heart, in seers, in lawgivers, and in prophets. It is accredited as coming from the heart. The nature of the process is not explained. It is enough to know that understanding is opened in both head and heart when man gives himself wholly to the Lord. And he goes on to write, no one ever attains spiritual consciousness without striving for it. The first step is to ask. The earnest desire to understand spiritual laws will open the way, and revelations within and without will follow. And then he goes to Daniel, chapter 10. Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thy heart to understand and to humble thyself before thy God, the words were heard, and I am come for thy word's sake. And he went on to say, Daniel humbled himself in the presence of the universal mind and thereby opened his understanding and made himself receptive to the cosmic consciousness. Now, I would suggest that this is what we do in meditation. We humble ourselves, we bring ourselves and give ourselves over to that simple task of breathing and of being aware. And we listen and we make room in our hearts and in our understanding for Spirit to speak to us. Let's see here. From Proverbs, trust in Jehovah with all thy heart, and lean not upon thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct thy paths. And further on in Proverbs, happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the gaining of it is better than the gaining of silver, and the profit thereof of fine gold. And further down it says, Jehovah by wisdom founded the earth, and by understanding he established the heavens. And I want to reference Phil Rogers, our meditation teacher, and he talks a lot about how the three lower chakras are kind of our base. They are the energy centers that deal with life in the physical reality. And the heart is that transformation center from the base into the higher consciousness. And Charles Fillmore, he places understanding in the forebrain, but he also places it in the heart. And so there is this combination. And the Heart Math Institute, which is located in Colorado, is they're about creating a coherence between the heart and the brain using a heart-focused breathing meditation, and it brings alignment of your physical, mental, and emotional systems to work in sync. And science now tells us that we have three brains. The one in the skull is called the cephalic brain. The one in our gut is called the enteric brain. And the one in our heart called the cardiac brain. And they actually have the neurons and the gray matter, and they communicate. And so it's, it's interesting. We do have three brains. It's been shown, the heart math folks, it's been shown that the heart generates the body's most powerful electromagnetic field. That is 100 times stronger electrically and 1,000 times stronger magnetically than the brain's field. And for some reason, I think of Sheldon Cooper on The Big Bang Theory trying to blow people up with his mind, when in all actuality, it's the heart that has that power. And my training of a healing technique that I do, one of the exercises that we got to do was we worked in partners, and the one person would stand with their back to you, and you would emote an emotion with no words. You would just send that emotion out. And the gal that I was working with, when I did anger, she was just like, whoa, I don't want to get on your bad side. Because it is amazing how you can just send out that field of energy. And we know that instinctively and intuitively, because we can all think of folks that we like to be around because they exude that joyfulness or that calmness, that peacefulness, that love, those kind of emotions that we like to be around. And we can also think of that strange, creepy person that we're like, oh, I don't want to be around you, especially in a dark alley. Lao Tzu said, the power of intuitive understanding will protect you from harm until the end of your days. Intuitive understanding. And you might think that this is what would be called instinct in our animal friends. And the instinct of the heart grows into greater understanding when it's aligned with the intellect and the higher consciousness. Marge Piercy, an author, wrote, life is the first gift, love is the second, and understanding the third. Charles Fillmore tells us that spiritual understanding is developed in the feminine realm of the soul. Yay, women! And from Proverbs, understanding is a fountain of life to those who have it. So, what can we do to activate this power of understanding? How can we get better at offering understanding to one another? Remember that to understand is to stand near. We can never fully know what another person is experiencing. So, and as Gandhi said, anger and intolerance are the enemies of correct understanding. So, anger and intolerance, out of here. And Buddha said, true love is born from understanding. And we like true love. We like that. So I think understanding requires these 5 things. Openness coupled with empathy. Forgiveness with acceptance. And Eckhart Tolle, he says, I like his definition, acceptance means, for now, this is what this situation, this moment, requires of me to do, and so I do it willingly. And I like that because it allows for things to shift. So we can be in acceptance knowing that it could shift. The third thing I think that we need to have a better understanding is curiosity. Because curiosity can displace judgment. An anonymous person said, "Those who judge will never understand, and those who understand will never judge." And I think that if you find yourself, because it's a human thing to do, to make a judgment, but if you find yourself in a place that you're uncomfortable with judgment, replace it with curiosity. Why? How did that person get to that place? Or, what's going on with that? Replace that judgment with curiosity, and it can relieve you of a negative feeling, which only you are feeling. Another thing I think that we need for our understanding to be developed is a true sense of non-competitiveness or equanimity. Have you ever had that kind of a day where you just, you need to vent, and you're like venting, and then the person that you're venting to riles over you and says, "Well, you had a day, well, I had a day," and blah, 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 and they're just upping your misery with their misery. And, it's just, I just wanted some understanding. And Dr. Thema Bryant is a minister of the AME Church, and she said, and I really like this, so hear this: heal so that you can hear what is being said without the filter of your wounds. Isn't that nice? Because, if you can imagine that, you've just lost somebody. Oh, say it again. In fact, I heal so that you can hear what is being said without the filter of your wounds. So if you, for instance, had just lost somebody dear to you, or you got fired from your job, everything that you're going to experience right then is going to be filtered through that wound. But time will help you heal, and you can set that wound aside. But if you stay in that woundedness, everything that you're experiencing is coming through that filter. So it's important to have that healing of your wounds and to work on yourself. And the last quality to increase our understanding is to offer dignity. Arnold Toynbee is an English historian and philosopher, and he wrote, "The whole universe and everything in it is alive in the sense of having dignity. The so-called inanimate and inorganic parts of nature have dignity. There is dignity in the earth, air, water, rocks, springs, rivers, sea. If we humans keep violating their dignity, we are violating our own dignity too." I had never really thought about, those things having dignity, but they do. And so do we, for being just simply alive. So if we can offer these qualities of openness, acceptance, forgiveness, curiosity, dignity, and a sense of equanimity, we can become a wonderful safe space for those that we love, for those that we work with, for our neighbors, for each other, and even for those that we disagree with, and mostly for ourselves. Self-compassion and self-love are topics that Jay Pryor talks about, and he's going to talk next week, I think, on it. And, I think that we have to give understanding to ourselves, first and foremost. And Ramana Maharishi said, "Without understanding yourself, what is the use of trying to understand the world?" For instance, if you have a habit or something that you do that isn't the best thing, there's probably a reason for it. but there's a reason that you need to discover through understanding. And give yourself that understanding, that self-love, that compassion, and figure yourself out. So those are the things I think that we can do to increase and activate our understanding. And I call understanding the humble power because it truly works with all of the other powers and elevates them in a spiritual level. Plato said, "No law or ordinance is mightier than understanding," because wisdom without understanding is just a lot of fancy words. Love without understanding is puppy love? I don't know. If you can think of the power, the power of will, the power of strength, if those things don't have understanding with them, that's just a bully walking around. So understanding is this very humble, very quiet power that works to uplift all the other powers that we have within us. Have you ever prayed for patience? Don't do that. Because life just gives you things to be patient about. But I would suggest that you ask for understanding so that your compassion and your love can be more fully activated. In the 12-step program that I'm a well-qualified member of, we have what is known as the set-aside prayer. And it goes like this, and there's a fill-in-the-blank part to it. But it goes, "God, help me set aside everything I think I know for an open mind and a new experience. Show me the truth about," fill in the blank, "show me your power." Recently, of course, there's the war in Ukraine, and I had questioned myself, how do I pray about this? And so, God, help me set aside everything I think I know for an open mind and a new experience. Show me the truth about the war in Ukraine. Show me your power. And, I really realized maybe something I can do is just to wrap the Russian leadership in love and the Russian people in love and understanding, and also, of course, the Ukrainian people. But to pour that out, because resistance against something just makes it stronger. And so, I figured, what the heck, it can't hurt anything. And I want to leave this little thought with you. Zsa Zsa Gabor, she said, "I want a man who is kind and understanding. Is that too much to ask of a millionaire?" I want that too. All right. Well, so we're going to have some more music, and then we'll do the meditation. It might be a little longer in the silence. Just be comfortable with it. I haven't fallen asleep up here, and we'll do that. Thanks.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. So you mentioned meditation, and of course, meditation is difficult. It takes a lot of work, takes a lot of effort, and I'm not great at it, but I try. I wrote this song not only to help quiet my mind, but to say something about how frustrating it can be. Be still, meandering mind. Thrive on your absence away from me. Don't throw your slow opulent light. Exhale the madness of constant thought. Drink from the oceans of wisdom and sumptuous love. Let the silence begin. Let it flow from within. Hush now, tranquility cradles the depths of your being. Be still, meandering mind. Thrive on your absence away from me. Don't throw your tireless, wearisome babbles at me. Let the silence begin. Let it flow from within. Hush now, tranquility cradles the depths of your being.
Thich Nhat Hanh said, "Come meditate with us for an hour. If you can't do an hour, do a half hour. If you can't do a half hour, do 15 minutes. If you can't do 15 minutes, do 5 minutes. If you can't do 5 minutes, do a minute." Take a breath. Breathing in slowly. You settle into your chair, your feet on the floor. Set aside anything you're holding, whether that's literally or figuratively. And just let your body sink in. And you breathe in slowly. You pause. And then you release deeply. You breathe in, and you can place your hand on your heart and bring your attention there. And you let the breath flow into and around the heart center. Breathing in quietly, gently, slowly, the flowing in and the flowing out. Place a smile in your heart. Breathe in your favorite color and let it flow throughout your body. Gentle swirling green or a blue or a pink or a yellow, whatever heals you. And hear these words as your own. I am whole. I am well. I am loved. I am peace. My spiritual understanding grows as I listen to the indwelling Spirit. So breathing in and breathing out as we spend some time in the sacred silence. I am blessed. I am whole. I am peace. I am understanding. I am love. And we know we can always come back and touch this place of peace. Start our day over again at any time. It is always within me, the indwelling Spirit. So it is. You can wiggle your fingers and toes, flutter open your eyes, and return to this place and this time, renewed and ready for more music.
I have to introduce this song because this song was written by our very own Holly right here. And I've gotten to know Holly. I'm impressed. Everything she does it with wisdom and understanding. And so I admire this song, and I'm not going to apologize for it. Get it? Get it? It's called No Apologies. But I got to get in the groove first. Yeah. when your life falls down into a silent compromise. We can see it through your eyes, there's no hope in sight. When we're trying way too hard to be someone we are not, we convinced ourselves that's safest lot. We are way too polite, making sure we don't shine too bright, hiding from our own birthright like we're gonna hurt somebody's eyes. There are no apologies accepted for who you are. You are the brightest star that ever shone for me. And what if you're the lighthouse to show the sailors all the way, and the safe house on the bay? We wouldn't come through space and time to be the victims of the crime of imposter with the true light of our soul. We wouldn't come through space and time to be less than our divine, for we are greater than quantified by soul. We didn't come here to be anything less. We didn't come here to be anything less. We didn't come here to be anything less than whole. When we humble ourselves down to the negative, we negate the very grace that we are made of. The imperative to just get by just gets in the way of the things we want to say and who we really are. We need to listen and to hear, and not to give in to the fears. Mere illusion. We're older, we're wiser, we try hard not to fail. Don't want to get it all, so we just build more walls. And what if you're the ocean and we're behind those walls, and we couldn't sail at all? Why would we come through space and time without a blueprint or divine, tailor-made of the potentials of our soul? We wouldn't come through space and time to be less than our divine, for we are greater than, helping than whole. We wouldn't come here to be anything less. We didn't come here to be anything less. We didn't come here to be anything less than whole. What if we came through space and time, peered through the looking glass divine? Would you believe your eyes to see your shining?
Thank you all for such wonderful music, message, and harmony in our understanding minds. Well, as our ushers come forward, I invite you to join me as we hold our gifts to this community in our hands and love in our hearts. Let's get our shine on as we affirm together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And as the love offering is collected, let's join Holly in singing, God is my source. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I gives me everything I need. Love gives me everything I need. And so here's our prayer of thanks as we listen. We are grateful and we bless the flow of good that supports our unity community. We bless the givers who give their time, talent, and treasure. We stand in the knowing that the flow of good goes forth only to return again and again. And so it is. Amen. And so, as we are in the announcement portion of our service, a special welcome to our guests today. Thank you for joining us. If you would like more information about the Unity Community of Lawrence, we have information for you in the lobby. And it is Potluck Sunday, so please join us downstairs for a time of fellowship immediately following our service. Thank you, Betty Wilson and Sarah Jane Russell, for getting it all set up. Yeah. Come early and join us Sunday mornings for a time of fellowship at 10:30 downstairs. Enjoy some fresh brewed coffee and treats with your Unity community. And now Sarah, Jane, and Janet Morgenstern are here for a message.
Okay, everyone, here's what we're doing. We have an opportunity to work in collaboration with the Lions Club of Lawrence to earn a park bench that's made out of plastic. And I know that sounds wild, but it's beautiful and it's sturdy and we can do this. So I'm going to begin with what we can recycle, what goes in one of these big bags. So from your store, produce bags, store bags, and ice bags. From your pantry, Ziploc, other reclosable bags, cereal box liners, case overwrap. I don't know what that is. There it is. Yes. Yes. Be nice if I knew. Okay. She's got it. Look there. And bread bags also. From your front door, newspaper sleeves, dry cleaning bags, bubble wrap, plastic e-commerce mailers. So those are the things that we put in one of these big, huge bags. When this big bag is full, you may take it to the Dillons on 6th and Lawrence Avenue. And if you go behind the building, you will see a place to just toss your bag. Then please email Kathy and let her know that you've taken a full bag over to Dillon's. We are earning points for our recycling efforts, and also the Lions Club, they're going to be sharing points with us as well, or pounds. So it isn't going to take long for us to get our park bench. Yay. And then we'll figure out as a group where we would like it to be. So you may also just take, if you just have a smaller bag full of stuff, you may also take that to the Merc. They have a big bin. It will say Lions Club on there. Maybe some of you have seen it. And you may also put things there, but the larger bags need to go behind Dillon's. Everything, that was so easy. We did it. Yay. All right. Thank you.
I understand. I took mine to the Merc, and for a minute I was like, ooh, Dillon's? Oops. Okay, mine was a smaller bag, so I took mine to the Merc, and they were so happy. They were so happy, as they are. Well, speaking of happy people who generate an awful lot of plastic, that's young folks. Anybody that has been around them for very long, there's lots of that. And if you enjoy being around young folks, we are looking for another youth education teacher to hire. The job description is available in the lobby for you to take and share. So thank you. And next Saturday is the last Saturday of April, so you'll notice how beautiful the grounds look today and the bags of cleanup from that. That's because folks have come and helped with cleaning up the grounds, and next Saturday is our last Saturday in April from 9 to noon. And yes, got a lot done with KU volunteers yesterday, but there's still more to do. So we look forward to seeing you next Saturday, 9 to noon. We are having a food drive for the month of May. All the food donated to Just Food stays and supports families in Douglas County. The barrel will be here next Sunday and located at the back of the sanctuary, so bring your canned and boxed and dried goods in for Just Food. Also, we do have meditation that meets on Tuesdays at 6:30 in the sanctuary. Everyone is welcome. Phil is now offering online meditation groups on Mondays and Tuesdays. There are flyers in the foyer that have information, and the dates may not match up, but the Zoom link is the same. So feel free to pick up if you want to Zoom in on meditations Mondays and Tuesdays. There's information out there for you. All right. Well, please join us next Sunday, as Karen alluded to, when Jay Pryor brings us the message, Self-Compassion and Your Power of Imagination. Special music with Chris Hudson. And I don't believe we're singing in any youth today. So let us bless each other, shall we? As we rub our hands together, let's rise and turn to face each other. Rub our hands together and say, congregation, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity in you. And because our vision is celebrating a peaceful and abundant world for all, let's all join in and sing the peace song. As we lower our hands, our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God washes over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.